We were gathered around the fire, and I said there was an old man named Robert W. Service that lived in the North and wrote about the North. And I said, let me do a thing from Service. Let me do the Shooting of Dan McGrew. Now, a bunch of the boys were whooping it up in the Malamute Saloon. And the kid that handled the music box was hitting the jug time too. And back in the bar in a solo game sat dangerous Dan McGrew. And watching his luck was his light of love, the lady that's known as Lou. When out of the night that was 50 below and into the din and the glare, there stumbled a miner, fresh from the creeks, dog dirty and loaded for bear. He looked like a man with his foot in the grave, scarcely the strength of a louse. Yet he tilted a poke of dust on the bar. Called for drinks for the house. Now there's no good place the strangers face, though we searched ourselves for a clue. But we drank his health, and the last to drink was dangerous Dan McGrew. I got to figuring who he was and wondering what he'd do. I turned my head, and there watching him was the lady that's named Lou. With his face most hair and a dreary stare, like a dog whose day is done. And he watered the green stuff in his glass, and the drops fell one by one. Stranger's eyes went rubber round the room, and he seemed in a kind of a daze. Till at last, that old piano fell in the way of his wandering gaze. Now the ragtime kid, he was taking a drink. There was no one else on the stool. The stranger stumbled across the room, and he flopped down there like a fool. In his buckskin shirt that was glazed with dirt, he sat and I saw him sway. Then he clutched the keys with a taloned hand. My God, but that man could play. Were you ever out in the great alone when the moon was awful clear? And the icy mountains hemmed you in with a silence you most could hear, with only the howl of a timber wolf, and you camped there in the cold, a half-dead thing in a stark dead world, clean mad for that muck-cold cold. While high overhead, green, yellow, and red, the north lights swept in bars. Then you were hunch what the music meant, hunger and night and the stars. Now hunger, not of the belly kind, that's banished with bacon and beans, but the gnawing hunger of lonely men for a home and all that it means, for a fireside, far from the cares of door, 4 walls and a roof above, and oh so crammed full of cozy joy and crowned by a woman's love. Woman that's dearer than all the world, and true as heaven is true. God, how ghastly she looked through her rouge, the lady that's known as Lou. And then of a sudden, the music changed, so soft that you scarce could hear. But it seemed that your life had been looted clean of all that you once held dear, that someone had stolen the woman you loved, and her love was a devil's lie, and your guts were gone. And the best for you was to crawl away and die. It was a crowning cry of a heart's despair, and it thrilled you through and through. I guess I'll make it as Fred Misère, said dangerous Dan McGrew. And the music almost died away. Then it burst with a pent-up flood, and it seemed to say, repay, repay, and my eyes were blind with blood. And the thought came back of an ancient wrong, and it stung like a frozen lash. and the lust awoke to kill. To kill. And the music stopped with a crash. The stranger turned. His eyes, they burned in the most peculiar way. In his buckskin shirt that was glazed with dirt, he sat and I saw him sway. Then his lips went into a kind of a grin. He spoke. His voice was calm. "Boys," said he, "you don't know me, and none of you care to. But I want to state my words are straight, and I'll bet my poke they're true. One of you is a hound of hell, and that one is Dan McGrew. Well, I ducked my head and the lights went out, and 2 guns blazed out in the dark. And a woman screamed, and the lights went up, and 2 bodies lay stiff and stark. Now, prone on his head and pumped full of lead was dangerous Dan McGrew, while a man from the creeks lay clutched to the breast of the lady that's known as Lou. Now, these are the simple facts of the case. I guess that I ought to know. Some say the stranger was crazed with hooch. I'm not denying it so. And I'm not so wise as those lawyer guys. But strictly between us two, the woman that kissed him and pinched his poke was the lady that's known as Lou.